Welcome to this video delivered by the University of Reading. This video is about student finance for 2025-26 entry for full-time UK undergraduates. Updated figures for 26-27 entry will typically appear on the government website around February time. This video will cover the student finance package, extra funding, bursaries and scholarships, how to apply, the repayments, get money ready for university, what to do and when, and useful links. There are two main costs when you go to university. The first one is the tuition fee, the cost of your course per year. You can apply for a tuition fee loan that will cover this. The second set of costs you will have will be your living costs, so things like accommodation, food, travel, social life, and you can apply for another loan called the maintenance loan. You'll probably find that this doesn't cover everything that you need it to, so you may wish to look into extra funding, part-time work, scholarships and bursaries, and then support from caregivers as well. The tuition fee for 25-26 entry is £9,535. Eligible students do not have to pay any tuition fees up front. A tuition fee loan does not depend on household income, so it's not means tested. A tuition fee loan covers the full cost of your course per year. Student finance pays the tuition fee loan directly to the university, and the loan is repayable but only when your income is over £25,000 a year, and we'll look at repayments later on. The maintenance loan works a little bit differently, so the amount you will receive depends on where you live and study and your assessed household income. In this year of entry 25-26, a maximum maintenance loan of £10,544 is available. The maintenance loan is paid directly into your bank account each term, so you need to learn to budget. And the loan is repayable, but only when your income is over £25,000 a year. The same as the tuition fee loan, they get lumped together, and we'll look at repayments later on. These are the maximum maintenance loan amounts available for 25-26 entry. So the higher the household income, the less support you'd be eligible for. The maximum amounts are available for households that have an income of £25,000 and under. You can see in the table that if you live with parents, you get slightly less than somebody who moves away because they will have accommodation costs, and you get slightly more if you go and study in London and you're not living with parents because London is expensive to live in. If you live and study abroad for at least one term as part of your UK-based course, you'll get a different amount there as well. You can estimate your student finance entitlement using the calculator on gov.uk/student-finance-calculator. It's a really good idea to do this so that when you do apply for student finance, you can see if the amount that they say you're entitled to matches what you thought it would be from the calculator. And also it will help you plan. So it will help you plan which accommodation you might opt for. You know, maybe you need to go for a shared bathroom rather than an ensuite. And household income is the income of any parent, step-parent, parent's partner, wife, husband or civil partner you usually live with. You can be assessed as an independent, so your parents' income would not be taken into consideration if you are 25 or over before the start of the academic year, you are married, divorced or in a civil partnership, you have care of a person under the age of 18, you have no living parents, you have no contact with or are estranged from your parents, you are a care leaver looked after by a local authority, you cannot trace your parents or it is not practical or possible to contact them, or you have supported yourself financially for at least 3 years before the start of your course. Here's an example of the maintenance loan support. So this person, they live with their parents, they won't be living with them and they'll be studying outside of London, so let's say they're coming to the University of Reading. The household income is £70,000, which means that they will get a maintenance loan amount of £4,915. In this second example, this student, again, lives with parents, but they won't be living with them when they come to uni and they'll be studying outside of London. They're coming to the University of Reading. And the household income here is £35,000, which means they will get a maintenance loan amount of £9,038. In this final example, this student is classed as an independent, so they fit into one of those categories that we saw on the independent slide. They won't be living with parents and they'll be studying outside of London, so they're coming to the University of Reading. Household income would be zero, so when they come to university they're a full-time student, they won't have an income, so they will get the maximum amount available of £10,544. Tuition fee loans, as mentioned at the beginning, are paid directly to the institution when you enrol. The maintenance loan, any grants, bursaries, scholarships would be paid directly to the student. So as I say, budgeting is really important. The core student finance, your maintenance loan, is paid in 3 large lump sums throughout the academic year. The first instalment is triggered by enrolment, and then the second is usually after Christmas, and the third around Easter. So you do need to learn to budget those huge lump sums of money. When you get your entitlement letter, it will have the dates of payment on there. Put those into your calendar. You can work out the weeks between payment and then divide your lump sum by the number of weeks, and then you've got your weekly budget. It's also good to put the dates of payment into your calendar anyway, so that if the payment doesn't appear on the date that it should, you can chase student finance about that. There is some extra support available, so if you're a student who has children or an adult who is dependent on you, there's additional cash available there. If you have a disability, a long-term health condition, mental health condition, or specific learning difficulty, you can apply for something called the Disabled Students Allowance. If you study overseas as part of your UK-based course, or if you undertake a medical or dental clinical placement, you can get some extra cash there to help with the travel. If you're studying some teacher training subjects, some NHS courses, social work, there are bursaries available for certain professions. And if you're leaving local authority care, you can access something called the Higher Education Bursary, which is worth up to £2,000. So ask your key worker or support worker about that. Scholarships and bursaries are another great way to get additional cash for university. They could be granted because of academic achievement, they could be granted because they're tied to a specific subject, if your household income is quite low when you start university, certain professions as we saw on the previous slide. And universities offer different awards and schemes, so it could be money off accommodation, a reduction in tuition fees either for 1 year or the duration of your course, cash awards, a combination. It could be to pay for your robes at graduation, to pay for books, to pay for travel. There are lots and lots of different ways that universities want to support students, and there are lots of charities and businesses out there that have scholarships and bursaries as well. So do an internet search, see what you can find. One of the main bursaries we have at the University of Reading is our Reading Bursary. Students who meet the eligibility criteria will be awarded a cash bursary of £1,500 per year of eligibility. This is awarded to students with a household income of less than £27,000 and their postcode must fit into a certain postcode area. So that would be an area of low progression to HE or an area of high deprivation. No application is required. On your student finance form, the money from the government, at the bottom of that form there will be a box for you to tick to consent to share your household income information with third parties. We're a third party. If we can see your household income information, we'll then check your postcode, and if you are eligible, we will automatically award you this bursary. We also have a range of other bursaries at the University of Reading, so bursaries for care experienced and estranged students, for students going on work placements or studying abroad. We have a digital support fund and lots more. You can find all of our bursaries available on our website. One of our brand new and biggest scholarships is our Global Sustainability Leaders Scholarship. Each scholar will receive £6,000 a year for up to 4 years of full-time study. Students need to be a UK or international fee-paying student holding an offer to study with us, achieve grades of AAA or above in their A-levels, or AAB for students eligible for a contextualised offer, or in equivalent qualifications as well, and successfully complete the scholarship application process for this scheme. We do have other scholarships available as well, and if you'd like to view all of them, you can pop to our website. You might like to consider getting a part-time job when you're at university, because it's really great for your CV, building up your skills and your confidence, but also for that extra bit of cash. There are lots of ways to find jobs when you're at university, but one thing we would recommend is working for your university, because you get to meet other students and it's usually quite flexible, and a university is understanding of the fact that you are a full-time student. Do find the balance though. You want to be prioritising your university work. Applications for student finance typically open towards the end of February, and the deadline is typically mid-May. You'll need to have ready your valid UK passport details or birth or adoption certificate or other identity and residency evidence documents, your national insurance number, your UK bank account details, and university and course details. You only need to use your preferred choice. There is no need to wait for a confirmed place at university. It's easy to apply online. It only takes around 30 minutes, and you apply at gov.uk/student-finance. If a parent is supporting your application with the household income, once you've applied for your student finance, they will be emailed a link within 24 hours, and that's where your parents will create an online account and they provide the information about their income from the previous tax year. If their income, the current tax year that you're going to university, will be at least 15% less than the previous tax year, they can give income details for the current tax year instead. They will also need their national insurance numbers, details of the household's taxable income and their personal taxable income, and details of other child dependents. HMRC will check all the information, and they might ask for further evidence of their income if it doesn't match HMRC's records, and of their marital status. Do apply early. Each year, thousands of students apply late for their finance, and they have no way to pay for their course or accommodation. It takes at least 6 weeks to process your application, and you apply online at gov.uk/student-finance. You do not need a confirmed place at university to apply. Apply with your favourite choice out of all of your offers, and you can change those details on your online account later on. Make sure any evidence and information needed to support your application is supplied right first time, and read, understand and agree to the loan terms and conditions. So how do repayments work? You will be on Plan 5. Repayments start from the April after graduating or leaving university. So you graduate in the summer, you get a year's tax grace. If by the next April or at some point after that next April, your income is above the threshold, which at the moment is £25,000 a year, you will start to make small repayments back. You repay 9% of your income over the threshold. Deductions are made from your pay through the HMRC tax system, so through your payslip. If your income falls to £25,000 or below, those repayments will stop, and any outstanding loan balance is written off 40 years after entering repayment. So what does that look like? The higher your salary, the higher your monthly repayments. If we look at the example at the bottom of the slide, if your income is £28,000, so you've had your year's tax grace, 9% is deducted from £3,000, that's the difference between the threshold and your salary, and your monthly repayment works out to a very small £22.50 per month. If you haven't seen a payslip before, you don't keep all the money that you earn. There are lots of other deductions made, pension, tax, national insurance, and those would be triple figures, if not close to. So the student loan repayment isn't the one that you'll be worrying about. Interest rate is RPI, and if you would like to read more about the repayments, it's slc.co.uk/repayment. As I mentioned earlier, budgeting is really important when you're at university, and it's a really useful life skill. So get money ready for uni and take those skills forward after university as well by going to blackbullion.com. There's a funding hub on there, financial wellbeing pages, and you can also download their student budgeting app. Take a look at blackbullion.com. Apply to your student finance authority as early as possible, and you can also sign up to their mailing list so you can be notified when applications open. You can typically sign up to their mailing list after Christmas time. Prepare your information and documentation required for your student finance application in advance. Check with the department you are going to be studying with to see if they have any bursaries or scholarships that are specific to your course of study. Check with all universities that you're interested in. Take a look at our Money Matters page for managing your money, costs and budgets. And just note, your loan from Student Finance may not be available on day one of your course. It's triggered by enrolment. It could take a few days to make its way into your bank account, so just make sure that you've got sufficient funds to cover the early weeks of your course. So to recap, it's important to make the right university and course choice. You get a set amount of funding, the length of your course, plus 1 year as a buffer, minus previous years of study. So it's really important that when you do go to university, you're going to the right university for you and you're doing the right course for you. Tuition fee loans are available to all eligible students. So if you're eligible for student finance and your course costs £9,535 a year, you'll get £9,535 a year. Future repayments are linked to your income, not what is owed. So if student A borrowed £50,000 and student B borrowed £30,000, they leave uni at the same time, they've had their year's tax grace, their salary is the same, their repayments would also be exactly the same. Research all finance available, especially bursaries and scholarships, because it's free cash. Apply online and on time, and there is no need to wait for a confirmed place. When student finance applications open, get your application in. Check all details are correct before submitting your application. Few useful links. This is what the student finance page on the government website looks like, so you know you've gone to the right place. All the information covered in this video is on there, and this is where you will also apply for your student finance. It's gov.uk/student-finance. And this is what the student finance calculator page looks like, gov.uk/student-finance-calculator. Pop in your details and see your estimate. You can also follow Student Finance on social media, and you can check out their videos on their YouTube channel. And if you're looking for where to sign up to the Student Finance campaign, it's studentfinance.campaign.gov.uk. Here's a few other useful links for you as well. So the Student Room, the UCAS website, really useful information on there about student finance, but also other things to do with the university. At the University of Reading, we have lots of virtual resources. We have videos, podcast episodes, YouTube videos, and you can find those at our virtual events page. You can email us with any funding questions at the University of Reading, studentfunding@reading.ac.uk. Check out Black Bullion, and you can also look at our Money Matters page. Thank you for listening. We hope you found that useful. That was a whistle-stop tour of student finance. If you have any questions, you can email us at outreach@reading.ac.uk.